Get started here. Welcome to the Strengthen Your Immune System and Beat Type 2 Diabetes 5-Day Challenge. Thank you for being here today. My name is Mike Connell. I am founder of a company called Home and Business Services Unlimited. And also, this is my first ever challenge online. So I've just been through a couple of short workshops learning how to do them. And it's become a pretty big fad online to run challenges to draw awareness and interest in certain topics, this one being health, relate as it relates to type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is basically a scourge in the US now. There's a lot of people that are either pre-diabetic or have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and the numbers just continue to grow. So there are a lot of things we can do ourselves, and that's what we're going to talk about this week, to take back the power we have to control our health. It's not easy, but a lot of the things are common sense and they're simple, but a lot of us don't do them. But there's great power in groups. A group like this, if we can, come together and get active in a group on Facebook or anywhere else you form your groups, but we put together a group on Facebook for this. There's great power in people helping people. You could share your story. You could get encouragement. There's accountability there if you want to say that you're going to do this or that in the next few days. You have other people to answer to, which tends to make you take measures that otherwise you might just, say, forget about it. I'm not going to do that right now. But if you have something, that you're accountable to, it may push you, towards those steps in helping yourself. And there's a lot of things we can do, to help ourselves with type 2 diabetes and many other health challenges. Most of these challenges are health challenges that we have are related to oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is the kingpin in causing health issues. And it ranges from diabetes to, heart problems to autoimmune diseases and so forth. So there's a lot of things we can do, to help ourselves with that. And, to keep it to a manageable list, we pretty much narrowed it down to three major areas. We can, of course, talk about anything you want to talk about, but the three major areas that we will discuss this week are proper hydration, good nutrition, and glutathione therapy, which is something you may not know about, but it is very important to your health. It's become a growing topic in the medical world. In fact, it's one of the most researched topics on PubMed.gov. There's thousands and thousands of papers now published on it daily. And it's because it is the most important cell in your immune system. So that's something that we'll be talking about more on Wednesday. We have with us on Wednesday a gentleman named Jim Spencer, who is a world-recognized expert and trainer on glutathione and its benefits to the immune system. He trains doctors, he trains scientists, and he travels the world doing that, and he's been doing that for 25 years. On Tuesday, we have with us a holistic health coach that will talk to us about nutrition. And her name is Mary Branson, and Mary's actually with us today. And then today's topic is hydration. And we originally had a guy named Chris that was going to do the presentation, but he was unable to make it. And kind of in a last minute scramble, I called a friend of mine who is also an expert in hydration, especially with high alkaline water. His name is Nicholas Loscalzo. And like he told us, he is calling in from Kansas City today. So these are the topics that we'll talk about. But of course, if you have something that you want to ask about, you could put your information or request in the chat window, and we'll try to address your questions as we go forward. We'll look at the chat right now. No questions yet, which is good because we haven't really started anything. But I've been the last few years learning a lot about the immune system And that's through Jim Spencer. As I told you, he runs a great Sunday night call that covers all kinds of health issues every week. And I've just learned so much. And then this past year, I've just had, like a lot of us, too much time on my hands. So I've done a lot of research and study and looking at things to, to learn best what I can do for my health. And hydration is an important topic. Our bodies are, you know, 75% water, and we should hydrate ourselves properly on a daily basis. A lot of health issues arise out of dehydration. And so that's what we'll talk about today is getting proper hydration and how it helps the immune system and helps our health in general. Drinking 8 ounces a day, eight's the magic, 8 ounce glasses of water a day is the recommendation. Of course, it depends on your size and weight as to how much you really need. And there's ways to learn, how to hydrate properly. And I thought before I brought Nick on, I'd play a short video that I found from NBC Health, NBC News Health. So I'm going to share my screen and just play a short video.
Aren't drinking enough water. So what's up with that? Because you have to have it.
I'm Dr. John Torres, an emergency physician and the NBC medical correspondent. Hydration means that you're getting fluid into your body. The majority of what we have inside of us is water, and we need that water in order to survive. You have to get that from external sources, meaning you have to drink it.
All right, so to keep your body hydrated, we're not telling you have to go crazy and down one of these each morning. In fact, some of the foods you eat, like fruits and vegetables, they can help you stay hydrated. But your body must have water.
Once you drink it, it goes into your intestine, goes into your guts, and from there it goes into the body, into all the cells. Once it gets done with the cells, it goes through our bloodstream and gets filtered out through our kidneys.
So exactly how much do you need? Just remember the number 8.
9 years old and above need 8 8-ounce glasses of water a day. This is an 8-ounce glass. It's a very normal amount of water.
So does that seem like a lot? Just pace it out throughout the day. But if you skip it, you could end up causing a lot of problems for your body.
Every cell in your body uses water to function. If it can't get that water, that cell is going to start shrinking. It's not going to work as well. And this includes your brain cells. So what's going to happen is you're going to start getting confused. You're going to start getting a headache. Your muscles aren't going to work as well. You might even start cramping up a little bit. As you get more dehydrated, that's going to get worse and worse. If you get too dehydrated, you can get in a world of hurt.
All right, so you don't want that. And don't think that you need less in the winter when you aren't sweating as much, because you still need to remember 8 to keep all those cells functioning. So here's the tricky part. How can you be sure you're really getting enough water? Here are some tricks you'll be able to remember.
The worst way to know if you're dehydrated is to wait until you're thirsty, because by then you're already dehydrated. One of the things you can do as you're walking around is just pinch the skin on the back of your hand. If when you pinch it and let go, it goes flat, then you're fine. That means you're perfectly hydrated.
All right, well, it looks like I'm doing pretty well. How about you? There's something else that you can do, and it's actually the most reliable. Just listen to this.
Look at your pee next time you go to the bathroom. If it's really dark, and I'll give you some examples here, that means you're dehydrated. So the pee gets darker because it's more concentrated, and that means that you need more fluids. If it's kind of middle of the road, that means you're doing okay. You might want to push a little bit more fluids, drink another glass or two to make sure that you get it down to the point where it's this light yellow. And that's what you want, because that means you're perfectly hydrated. You're right exactly where you need to be.
Don't worry, that was just apple juice, but you get the point. So here are just a few things to remember to make hydration easier. Pack a water bottle and just put it in your backpack in case you don't have a water fountain nearby. And you may love those sugary drinks like soda, but drinking that much sugar a day could actually cause you other health problems. And nothing beats plain old water to make you feel your best. You also need to drink more when you're outside in the heat. If you're exercising or you're playing sports, make sure you drink that water. Your body and your mind will thank you for it.
Okay, so that was just a quick bit of information about hydration and drinking water. There are a lot of different levels of quality in the water that we drink. And that's what Nick is going to talk a little bit about. I know, I used to drink a lot of juice. I used to love cranberry juice and lemonade, and but you you find out they are filled with a lot of sugar, and that's not good for your health. It's not good for your hydration. Uh, Coffee, I love my coffee, but it doesn't hydrate you. It dehydrates you. So I start my day with less coffee now and then drink water all day long. Every day I drink a jug like this. It's a gallon jug of what I call Kangen water. And Nick knows I did a couple of goofy videos way back when I first started drinking Kangen water, but uh, he's going to talk a little bit about that and how good it is for your health. Uh, you know, when it comes to sweet drinks, my sister Jo is here with us, and we lost our brother Tim back in 2014 to diabetes. He had a massive stroke, and he passed away. And his worst habit was drinking Coca-Cola. From a child all the way up, every day he drank Coca-Cola. That was his, that was the death of him. And if I knew today what I do now, I certainly would have shared with him some of the things that we're going to learn this week. And, maybe he'd still be with us, but it's too late for that. But, it's not too late for you if you're here today. So, try to learn, get it. If you're not already in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. We are going live right there now. So there may be people watching us from there. But, like I said, there's power in the group. So, get involved and share with others that are in the same boat with you. So with that, I'm going to bring Nick on. Nick, do you need to share your screen?
I was just going to share a little bit about my experience, but if you'd like me to, because it is like 90% visual, there's a demonstration on the difference of the water compared to others.
Okay, so let's just go with that. I was going to make you host if you needed to share stuff.
Okay,
If
so yeah,
you do, we could always go there and
we'll
make
share
it
like
there.
a 10-minute video, and then I can share like a story about my experience essentially.
All right, you have a video to play?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me pull it up. I didn't realize I was going to be sharing my screen.
Well, it's the best way to share it. Make sure you share with sound, on the share window, click the button for
Okay.
sharing computer sound and optimizing for video clip. So,
Okay, I'm
all right,
ready
so
when you
I'll
are.
make you host, and then you'll have to, return that favor to me once you're done.
You bet. Sounds good. All right, can you see this?
Yes, we can.
All right. Let me know if you can hear it when it starts too.
Hi, my name is Bob Gudelli, and I'm here today to show you the 3 qualities of the water that make this water so special
Yeah, we can hear it.
and different from anything
Awesome.
we've ever experienced in our life. What I've gathered here is an assortment of bottled water that many of us are drinking today, and I'm going to show you the first quality of the water with what is called a ORP pinpoint meter, and ORP means oxidation reduction potential of liquids. They're either going to show a positive ORP or a negative ORP. So let's move over to Dasani. This is a product of Coca-Cola. So many of you drink this like I used to. And as you see, it's already climbing, it's above 130, so that's a positive. I'm going to move over to Aquafina, and that's a product of Pepsi-Cola. Notice this one climbing above 160. I'm going to move over to Arrowhead, and that's now climbing, look, above 300. Let's move over to Alive. This is a product that I
So a
use for
positive
my
number
enjoyment
is
called Wellness
oxidizing
Water.
to the body, meaning
It's,
rusting,
It
aging,
must be good for us. They call it
deteriorating to the
wellness
body.
water or vitamin waters. Notice it's almost to 400. Here we're moving over to Fiji water. It's at right around 330. And then over to Smart Water. Notice it's still above 300. Let's move over to soda. Notice that one's almost 400. Now I'll go to tap water. That's at around right 360. And now the star of the show, Kangen water 9.5. Notice it's a negative 450. So as you see, that water jumped to negative right away. Negative, it's above a negative 470. That's the most important quality of the water. And that's why, as I'll show you the device here in a moment, why that is manufactured as a medical device and sold as a medical device in Japan, because of that quality of the water alone. So I'm going to go and show you the second quality of the water with these pH drops, means potential hydrogen.
So the negative number
It's gonna
represented
show
the
us whether
abundance
these
of
liquids are
antioxidants in the
pH
water.
scale from 0 to 14.
The same as if
whether
you're
they're
eating a bunch of
acidic,
blueberries.
to 7 being neutral, or to being very alkaline. And I'm just going to put a couple drops in each one of these. And that was the Dasani. Here's the Aquafina, the Arrowhead. Let's go to the Alive, the Fiji water, the Smart water, the soda, and there's the tap water, and here's Kangen water. Now let me stir these up real quick. I'm going to stir these up real quick, and then I'll show you this color chart here. Okay, here's the Dasani. Notice it is pretty acidic, right? Let's move over to the Arrowhead really quick. That's also very acidic. Let's do the, I'm sorry, that was the Aquafina. Now I'm doing the Arrowhead. Notice that's even more acidic. Here's the Alive water that I used to drink, also very acidic. Here's the Fiji water. Notice that one's a little better, more on the neutral range. Here's the Smart water, slightly acidic. And here's the soda, also extremely acidic. This is the tap water, also on the neutral range. Don't get too excited about tap water. Federally regulated by the government, besides the chlorine, and they use lye to raise the pH of the water. Here's the star of the show. Like I said, it's certainly not me. Kangen water 9.5, very alkaline. So that's the second quality of the water. And one more interesting thing I want to show you about the alkalinity of the water is when we drink alkaline water, notice how it will change the pH of these acidic waters. I'm going to show you, I need a little more to do those. As you see there, as you see the Smart water, as you see the tap water. And I need a whole container of 11.5 pH because these are so acidic that notice there's no change when I add the Kangen water to these. No change in the Alive and then the soda. So just an education, if you drink 1 cup of this that's so acidic, you need to drink 32 cups of 9.5 Kangen water to neutralize 1 cup of soda. So as you can see, it's so acidic that it will change just with a few drops right back to very acidic. So in relation to the body, as you can see, if you continue to drink these things, it just keeps us in an acidic state, whereas the alkaline water of 9.5 helps to neutralize the acid-alkaline balance and flush the acid out of the body. Now I'm going to show you the third quality of the water, which is called microclustering of the molecules. I've taken ordinary tea bags. This is Yamamoto green tea, something that I like, and I'm going to take ordinary tap water and add it to this cup. And as you see, what do you normally have to do to make tea? You have to heat the water, right? Because this is just cold water. Now I'm going to take the Kangen water, 9.5, and add it to the same tea bag. And notice what it's doing immediately. It's making tea, as you can see there. So the molecule clusters in regular water are anywhere from 12 to 15 clusters, whereas the molecules in Kangen water are anywhere from 4 to 6 clusters, so much smaller. So as you can see, the water is reaching in and drawing out the tea just with cold water. So I'm going to show you a little demonstration here. I'm going to take and make a few extra glasses of tea. Notice that, how it's making tea right away. I'm going to do another one right there. Notice how that's doing that. I'm going to take now tap water just to show you guys this isn't a magic show or anything. And I'm going to go ahead and put tap water back in that one. Notice how it didn't make tea. And I'm going to take the Kangen water again And now we're going to go back to making tea again, as you see. I'm just going to make a couple more for you here. And another one. I can go ahead and make about 20 cups of tea, but I'll just make about 8 or 9 right here as we have. So you can see, in relation to the body, absorption into the body is far superior, just like you saw absorption into the tea bag. So the water will enter the body, hydrate the body much better at the cellular level. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some other qualities of the water, because remember the machine makes 5 different grades of water, so I'm going to show you them now. One of the other qualities of water I'm going to show you is I'm going to use some tomatoes here that I just bought at the local healthy food store right nearby down the street. And I'm going to take, because we normally clean our fruits and vegetables in ordinary tap water. So I'm going to take ordinary tap water and just fill this one. Put that there, and I'm going to take, I pre-make 11.5 pH. We call it strong Kangen water. And the reason I use a black container is because 2 things affect the quality of the water, and that is air and light. And I'm going to add that to the water here. And I'm going to let those sit for a couple minutes. And I'm going to show you, let me take that. I'm going to move those off to the side real quick. And I'm going to show you what's happening with those tomatoes with a little demonstration right here. I'm going to just use some sesame seed oil. Take a little of that. A little in there. And then I'm going to take ordinary tap water and add it to the sesame oil. As we know, basic science, oil and water don't mix, as you can see. And then I'm going to take the strong Kangen water, 11.5 pH. And as you can see with water, we just emulsified oil. So it broke down the oil just with water by changing the pH to 11.5. Now you're going to understand what's going on with the tomatoes over here. As I take the tomatoes, and this is the one that was soaking in ordinary tap water. Now that's how you normally clean your fruits and vegetables. Now this is the one that was soaking in 11.5 strong Kangen water. Notice the difference. Now, what just came off there compared to what didn't come off there? This water, just like it broke down the oil and emulsified oil, took the oxidation, the oil-based pesticides that they use, and just took it right off the tomatoes. And now, as you can see, you're going to have tomatoes that don't have any of the pesticides and anything that might possibly be on them. Whereas normally, this is how you would normally eat your tomatoes with all the pesticides. So that's another quality of the water, that we can use this water for cleaning purposes. You can pretty much get rid of all your household cleaners and just use water, because now we have water that can emulsify and break down oil. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you about the water is, remember we said we clean our fruits and vegetables in the tap water, right? So this is just ordinary tap water. I poured in there, and I'm going to do a little test for chlorine. This is just a chlorine tester. We had about 4 drops in there, and as you can see, it's starting to turn yellow. So that shows us the amount of chlorine in the water. And like I said, a lot of this is going to be an education of things that we might want to change in our life. So I'm going to take, I just cut up a lemon here, and I'm going to take, and this is going to show us as we clean our fruits and vegetables in the tap water. We'll show you something that you might not want to do anymore. We'll just let those soak for a second, just as you normally clean things in the tap water. And now, as you can see, it's clear again. What happened to the chlorine? Did we really clean our fruits and vegetables with the tap water, or did we clean our water with the fruits and vegetables? So just an education as something you might not want to do anymore, and that's why we can use the 11.5 pH for cleaning our fruits and vegetables. Now I'm going to show you the star of the show, which certainly isn't me, but is the technology that comes from Japan that makes Kangen water. I'm going to show you how simple this is to hook up. It only takes a few minutes. You simply just hook this up to your faucet right here. And now what it does, it takes ordinary tap water, and just by moving this, diverting the water into the machine, we are within seconds making Kangen water 9.5. Let me shut that off. Now what the water is doing is, first it's passing through this double carbon antibacterial filter where it's filtering the water first. Then it's going in through here, which is called the electrolysis chamber. I'll kind of show you what that looks like and give you a quick little education. It's passing through 7 platinum-coated titanium plates where the water, it's negative and positively charged, so it's splitting the waters. Alkaline water is coming out here, and acidic water is coming out here. And then I'm going to show you how simple it is to use the machine. I'll also give you a quick education on what they don't show you on the competition in the marketplace. They don't show you what's inside the machine, and I'll just give you a quick education on theirs compared to ours, because they try to say theirs is just as good for half the price. But as you can see, smaller is not better, but larger, because the more the surface area, this has 450% more surface area with the water's passing through as it's electrically charged. And the benefit of that is the stronger the quality of the waters and the longer those qualities will last. Now I'll just show you how simple it is to use. By simply pressing the button, within seconds we change the kind of waters we're making.
Kangen water 8.5.
So as you can hear, that's making 8.5 pH,
Kangen water 9.0.
9.0,
Kangen water 9.5.
and 9.5. Now, from 8.5 to 9.5 is 10 times stronger. So what they suggest is that you start off at 8.5 for a week or two, then move up to 9.0 for a week or two, and then 9.5 probably by the end of by 30 days. And the reason being is this water will make you detox. It will cleanse the body. And so just to make detox more gradual, you start off at 8.5 and work your way up. Now the next water,
Clean water.
clean water, as you can see it says for medication. So that water we want to use in case you're taking prescription medication, because you saw how the molecules were microclustered, so absorption into the body is much greater, much faster, and a lot of medication is time released. So 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after, you just want to use clean water when taking medication.
Beauty water.
Beauty water, that's slightly acidic, just like our skin, 5.5 pH. For those of you that buy toners, that's what toners are, to tighten and tone and soften the skin. Now, for pennies, instead of spending money on toners, now you can just make it right here from the machine, and you can make gallons and gallons for just pennies. The last two waters.
Strong acidic water.
Strong acidic water is 2.5 pH. If you can see here, it says sanitary. That's what they use in hospitals in Japan and over 30,000 restaurants, because 2.5 pH water will kill 99.9% of all bacteria within 30 seconds. So instead of using harsh chemicals and bleaches and things of that nature, they just use 2.5 pH water for disinfecting. Now the opposite, let me show you this here.
Strong acidic water.
So the 2.5 strong acidic water is coming out the secondary hose here, because it's always making two waters at once. So what's coming out here is 11.5 pH, and that's the water I use for cleaning the tomatoes. So 2.5 for disinfecting, 11.5 for cleaning, and that's what you can use for cleaning your fruits and vegetables. Also, you can actually use that as a degreaser and throw away all your household cleaners and use that for cleaning instead of those things with harsh chemicals. So that's pretty much it, the 5 grades of water that we take ordinary tap water and create those 5 grades of water just by simply pressing these buttons. Very simple to use, and that's the technology. The next step is to get back to the person who introduced you to this.
So that is a quick introduction to the water that we're speaking about. So a little bit about my history. When I first got introduced to this, I was suffering with a chronic gastrointestinal disease by the name of ulcerative colitis. I had been battling it for about 4 years, and I did everything the doctors told me to do. I went to the allopathic doctors. I was on all their medications, and you know, I was doing everything they were saying to do, but I wasn't really getting ultimately back on my feet. I was actually, it was kind of a never ending cycle where like I would have a flare up and then they'd give me a medication and they'd cool the symptoms down. And then like next thing you know, the flare up would come back, but it'd be stronger. So then they'd have to give me a stronger medication. And it got to the point where over 4 years, I they told me I was gonna have to have my colon removed. And I don't know about any of you, but I definitely did not want to have my colon removed. So it was kind of like a line in the sand moment. I actually got let go of my job because I was so sick I wasn't able to work. Um, and I was actually working in a gym, so I was very physically active. And I was laying on my bed, and I didn't have a way to make money. I was stuck at home. I was basically and I had my colon removed, and I just asked the universe. I was like, all right, just bring me a sign. Let me know what I need to know. And my buddy Dan, who actually attended the gym I worked at, was like, hey Nick, I've got something for you. My mom was battling breast cancer, and she decided not to do radiation or chemo. And with the assistance of alternative methods and herbs and whatnot, she was able to uh, get her reading to zero. So she overcame breast cancer without doing it. And I was like, all right, Dan, what is it? And he was like, well, it's this water. It comes from a Japanese hospital, from a medical device they use in the Japanese hospitals, and they have for the past 43 years. And I was kind of skeptical. I was like, so you're telling me it's just water? He's like, just give it a shot, try it. And during this time period, I had already been also going to alternative doctors, and I had changed my diet around. I was doing all the right things. I was consuming all the right things. My body just wasn't utilizing it. So I started to drink the water, and I noticed that my pain was going down, and I actually had more energy. I was actually able to get up out of bed and move around, which was a blessing in itself. And I started to think about it. I was like, okay, I was doing all the right things before, but I was consuming all the right things. But wouldn't you say it's one thing to consume something, but it's another thing to utilize it? It's completely different. You can consume all the right things, but if your body's not utilizing it, it doesn't make a difference. So when I started to drink the water, I noticed all the different or not allopathic, but the alternative homeopathic methods I was doing actually started to be utilized in my body, and the nutrients were being absorbed, and all that. So it was like a hallelujah for me. So I just continued to drink the water, and over the course of a year from that point, I just continued to get better, and I actually weaned myself off all the medication the doctors were giving me, and to this day, I'm completely healed right now. I haven't had any flare ups or anything. I've been completely fine. I still have my colon, and it was just really eye opening to me because I always thought I was doing the right thing. I was like, when I told Dan, I was like, "You're telling me it's just this water." He's like, "Yeah, but Nick, we are everyone says you are what you eat, but if you think about it, you actually are what you drink, because we're made up like 75% of water. We're not made of food." And imagine if he used this comparison, it just makes so much sense for me. Imagine if you were, at the top of if you were in China and you were breathing in all that smog, and you're just in that dense city, uh, polluted atmosphere of air, and you're breathing that in every day. How do you think you would feel breathing that in, and then compared to being at the top of a mountain breathing in that fresh natural mountain air? Do you think you'd feel a difference? And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And he goes, well, okay, well, how do you think you'd feel if you're eating oxidizing, rusting, or just acidic foods? Like, let's say you were just eating fast food all day, or just candy, and just things that aren't premier fuel for your body, compared to eating like raw fruits and veggies every day. How do you think you'd feel? You think you'd feel a difference? I was like, yeah, you definitely feel a difference. Well, he goes, well, there's just like there's different qualities of wine, um and different qualities of food, and different qualities of air, there's different qualities of water. So how do you think you'd feel if you're drinking dead, oxidizing, rusting, polluted water, like in other words, city water, um or what, as you can see in the demonstration, bottled water as well, um, compared to drinking antioxidizing, abundant electron rich water? How do you think you feel a difference? And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So like there's different qualities of foods and wines, there's obviously different qualities of water. So I just continued to drink the water, and I noticed a huge difference in my health. Not only that, but I got a machine because I could feel the difference. But my friends and family members were noticing a difference in myself as well. They're like, Nick, like, what are you doing? You look like yourself again. You like got energy. And I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing other than just drinking this water, and it's making me feel good. And so they're like, all right, well, I was like, you should just give it a shot. So I had friends who were really big into going to the gym, and they just started to get the water, and they were letting me know that they were having better workouts, and it's because the water washes lactic acid out of your muscles. And then my mom had arthritis. She started to drink the water, and she said in 2 weeks time, she started to feel like the pain was going away, and she was like, I don't know what it is, but like when I'm out of the water, because she'd come over to my house and pick it up. She was like, when I don't have this water, like my body craves it, and I don't really know what it is, but like I I just need the water. So she just it was a blessing in itself. So I was just seeing all these beautiful things happening around me, and then I was experiencing transformation. So I was like, there really is something to this. And just like he was showing in the demonstration, the water is the molecules are really small. So think of it like a chain link fence, and your cells are a chain link fence. When you're drinking normal tap water, you're trying to like throw a baseball through a chain link fence. It's not going to get in the cells to hydrate. Your body has to stop what it's doing, go basically break down that baseball of a water molecule, and then allow it to then go into the cells, go through the chain link fence. With this, that's basically like throwing BBs through a chain link fence, which then instantly hydrates you. And that's why it's so detoxifying, because most of the time we're not even hydrated, even though, I mean, there's people who drink tons of water, but they're still thirsty. So the difference is if the water is going straight through your cells and instantly hydrating them. And that's why it's used by lots of the NBA and NFL athletes, because you can drink a lot of the water and it hydrates you instantly. And it's just a beautiful thing, because it's kind of like the missing puzzle piece. We are water, so you are what you drink. So that's basically my history with the water, and I've seen it do a lot of wonderful things for all different walks of life. I could go into several different stories, but that's just my experience with it, Mike.
That's great, Nick. Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions for Nick, I could unmute you if you'd like to ask him a question. Anyone?
Here, let me give you host back, Mike.
No? Okay. Now, I know, for me, why did it go back to you, Nick?
I don't know. You're the host, though.
Okay, so I know for me, I've been drinking Kangen water, however you want to say it, for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And not only is it good for you, but in the long run, it saves you a lot of money. I mean, I don't buy bottled water. I don't buy all the juices I drank, and I happily, drink one of these every day, and I feel great. Between the things I'm doing for myself daily with eating the daily requirements of vegetables and fruits and water and Immunocal, getting my glutathione raised every day. I'm doing 200 push-ups every day. I'm 63 years old, and I'm doing 200 push-ups daily, and I'm exercising, and I'm walking my dog, and so it really does make a difference in your health. Hydration is basically flushing your system. You want to drink water every day, even if it's not Kangen water. You want to drink water every day. Drink less of the sugar drinks, the soda, and you saw the test there. Bottled water is in plastic bottles, so they become acidic. It happens because of the travel time, in shipping the water. It sits on a sunny, dock and goes from warm to cold. By the time you're getting it at the store, it's been through a lot of temperature changes, and so the water becomes acidic. So it's not.
Yeah,
it's
the
not real
plastic
good for you.
bottles are actually breaking off into like microparticles into the water, which you're then drinking, and that hasn't been around for but maybe 10 years. We don't know like the future of what the actual impact it has on our body, for instance.
Right, and never mind the impact on the environment just from disposing of all those plastic bottles that are, by the way, made from oil. So oil and water don't mix well, as you saw in the test too. There, so the plastic bottles. So I'm blessed here in the Boston area. We have pretty good public drinking water. We get it from the Mass Water Resources Authority, it's called, and it's really clean to begin with. I've done pH tests on it, and it's pH 7.0 like it's supposed to be, which is neutral. And so then I just give it that advanced boost, run it through my machine, and I get 9.5 Kangen water every day that I drink. And my son drinks it when he's not filling himself with soda and power drinks, but uh, I'd like to get him more on, more water and less of that stuff on a daily basis. But he's a young guy, and young guys do what young guys do. So, but if anything you get from today, it's hydration is really important to your health, and look for better quality water, but at least drink water. If you
Yeah, I mean,
have,
they say you can go without food for 7 days or something. You can't really go without water for more than 2
oh
days
no,
or really 3 days.
you got to drink water. But most people, and I know I was like that before. I drink a little water, but I didn't drink a lot of water every day. I mean, I used to love cranberry juice. I drank a lot of cranberry juice, and the cranberry juice is tart and it's dehydrating as opposed to hydrating. So the best thing you can do for yourself on a daily basis is remember 8 ounce glasses of water. Uh, if you can get a Brita filter, if you don't have access to a Kangen machine, like you can talk to us if you'd like to get one. But um, the the best thing you can do is filter your water so it's at least clean before you drink it. Uh, Drinking water quality is different everywhere. A lot of places have iron in their water. Some places have mercury in their water, and people don't know it. That's a health issue that we're going to bring up in our next challenge is autism, and they're finding that uh, autism may be related to mercury in the drinking water. And in southern New Hampshire, they have a major problem with autism. Almost 4 out of 10 children growing up there are autistic, and it's got to be something in their drinking water. They really should be looking at their drinking water to see if it's got mercury and other chemicals. Another chemical that they're finding to be part of the problem with autism is acetaminophen, and that's Tylenol. And I know my son, we used to rub it on his gums when he was teething and not realizing that it wasn't helping him. It might relieve the pain, but it wasn't helping him physically. So take a good look at your drinking water, find out what the quality of it is, and but do drink water. Even whatever your current level of quality is better than nothing. Drink water to hydrate yourself daily. It'll help you going forward with your health, and with type 2 diabetes. It'll help if you can hydrate yourself to reduce the oxidative stress that is going on with type 2 diabetes. And there's a lot of other things you're going to learn this week that will help reduce that oxidative stress, which is causing most of your health challenges, from type 2 diabetes. So I think we're probably done a little bit early here, unless people have questions. My sister Jo has a question. Let me go to Jo and ask her to unmute. She can ask a question.
I'm just curious, does this water have a different taste? I mean, can you taste that it's different?
Yes, you can. It tastes much better. It's clean. I like to, remember Uncle Joe? He used to say the water at Nantasket Beach was delicious, and it really is. It's a great tasting water. It's very clean, and it's hydrogen rich. And the Japanese, when they started producing the Kangen water, studied places like Lourdes, France, where people were getting miraculously cured, from various health challenges. Mary, Mother Mary, Jesus' mother, was supposedly, behind that, blessing the water. But the Japanese said that may be true, but we also found that the water in Lourdes, France gets struck by lightning a lot. There's a lot of thunderstorms, and so the water becomes electrolyzed. And that's what Kangen water is. They electrolyze the water, and it creates that additional hydrogen. It changes the structure of the molecules in the water, and it makes it rich in hydrogen. And the word hydration, if you look at it, is based on hydrogen. So you want more hydrogen in your water than oxygen, which is oxidative, which will, cause the oxidative stress. So,
What about using it like in recipes? Like, does your coffee taste the same? If you use it in baking, where you might have a lot of baking soda or salt or sugar in a recipe, does it change anything? Do you use it like regular tap?
well, I can't testify to that because I'm not a
No.
baker. I'm a typical bachelor.
Just thinking of all the uses of water other than just drinking it. You cook with it, you bake with it, you
I do make my
treat it
coffee
like
every day with it.
water.
I make my
sorry, what were
coffee
you
every
saying?
day with it. I use the 8.0 to make coffee. That's what they suggest on their literature and their machine. They use the 8.0 for making coffee. I use it to clean vegetables and fruits, the 11.5 water, and it does a great job. And then I also use it for cleaning. You know what I mean? So I get
Yeah.
multi uses out of the machine. So it really is.
Okay, thanks. Just curious.
All righty. So, Nick, do you have contact information if anyone wants to get in touch with you? If you have questions, you could put it in the chat box. Anybody could copy that. You could also state it out loud, if you want to share your contact information with the group.
Sure. Yeah, you can contact me actually on my cell phone number, which is 913-620-6803. And then you can also email me at livingmiraclellc@gmail.
Great. Excellent. So anybody else have a question or a comment? Feel free to, I could unmute you and you can, share any thoughts you have with us. All right. Well, I won't keep you any longer than that. I really do appreciate you showing up today. It's my first challenge. I'm excited about it, and it's going to play. The recording of this will play later again on Facebook in the Facebook group, which is of the same name. Strengthen your immune system and beat type 2 diabetes 5-day challenge. That's the group name. I know it's a lot of words, but it's all part of what I learned in my challenge workshop. So again, thank you to everybody that joined us today, and I hope you keep coming. Tomorrow we have Mary Branson, who she's a holistic health coach and nutrition expert. She is going to share with us things we can do to raise our nutritional values that we're having every day, and to get the most out of what we eat, as opposed to just what we drink. So join us tomorrow for that at 2 p.m. Eastern. And again, thank you for coming today. I really do appreciate it. Okay, everybody, take care.